Get that fucking trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another fucking friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. As fellow entrepreneurs and businessmen, one of the most uncomfortable situations is when we're at a barbecue or a cookout or a ball game or a house party and somebody asks you, John, so what do you do for a living? Bill, what do you do for a living? Mark, what do you do for a living? And then we shuffle our feet, look at our feet, and sometimes we'll say, well, I'm a business owner, or I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm in the jewelry store business. I'm an insurance agent. That's a definite I. If you want to glass over somebody's eyes, tell them you're an insurance agent. If you want to glass over somebody's eyes, just tell them what business you're in. Well, I'm in, I sell flooring. And the person at the barbecue or the party or the pool party or whatever, it's like, wow, good morning. It's like eyes glassed over. It's a way to fix any sleeping disorder. I learned the power of having a USP, a unique selling proposition, USP. I learned the importance of it when I was coaching hockey. So when I was coaching pro hockey and when I was coaching amateur hockey, and I own my own 2 teams, by the way, it was like I was the hit of every party without doing anything. So if I went to a party with strangers, a pool party, a family reunion, if I went, I'm at a funeral at the session, I go to a barbecue, whatever, somebody's stag, whatever. And a stranger would ask me, oh, Michael, what do you do for a living? And I'd be like, I'm a professional hockey coach, or I own my own hockey team, or I coach junior A hockey, or I coach junior B hockey. Well, lo and behold, it's like the second coming of Christ. It's like, whoa, really? Because people are bored out of their minds. They're bored stiff, right? They're expecting me to say, well, I work for the government, or I'm a teacher or something. And when I used to say, I coach my own team, I coach pro hockey, well, it doesn't matter who it was. You've got their attention, right? You've grabbed them by the throat. They're like interested, they're curious. They're like, tell me more about that. What the hell is that? How do you do that? And then I take them deep with the stories, right? I love taking people deep with the stories at events like that. Like they don't have a clue, and I'm like, I take them deep with the stories, and their minds are just exploding, right? You can see the smoke coming out of their ears. Really? You own your own team? Really? You coach pro hockey? What's that like? Wow, you really just insane. And then when I got in the insurance business, I went from the most exciting business in the world, the pro hockey and amateur. I own my own team. Every day I go to the rink. It's the best job in the world. It's tough, but it's a great job. And it's exciting. I go to the most boring business in the world. What's more stale, dull, and boring than insurance? And I didn't make it stale, dull, and boring. I never adjusted to the insurance business. That was one of my keys to dominating. But nonetheless, for most people, the insurance business is stale, dull, and boring. It's the number one thing that would put a person to sleep. So I noticed right away at barbecues and cookouts and celebrations, people would ask me, Michael, what do you do for a living? And I'd say, well, I'm an insurance agent. And immediately, that's nice, and they walk away. It's like I went from the hit of the party, the most interesting guy at the event, to I'm an insurance agent. And literally people would be like, that's nice, where do you work? And then they'd walk away. eyes glassed over, right? Who wants to listen to that? You know, that's like saying that you're, well, I'm a garbage man, or I own a store. Like, it's just like, who cares? So this really woke me up to the fact of how important it is that we have a USP for ourselves. If you're really in the Michael McLean business, if you're really in the Billy Wagner business, if you're really in the Stephen Ivanko business, if you're really in the Paul Nolte business, then you have a USP for yourself, a unique selling proposition. A USP is something like Domino's Pizza, hot, fresh pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes or it's free. That's how they built Domino's. They did one thing that nobody else did. Hot, fresh pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes or it's free. That's a USP. My USP at McLean Insurance was three-prong: free pizza, or great rates, award-winning service, free pizza. Okay? So every great company has a unique selling proposition that makes them different, makes them stand out. So you need that personally too. So I was like, all right, so what can I tell people now that I'm a coach and a consultant, an insurance agent, and I'm an entrepreneur? What can I say that stops people dead in their tracks? That's the thing. You want to grab them by the throat, right? The Gary Halbert, reach out and grab them by the throat. What would I say that would stop anybody dead in their tracks and make them listen and interested and curious, the same as I would for my business? So I started saying, I sell money at a discount. So think about this. You have average Joe and average Jane, and they're a couple of drinks deep at the barbecue, and they come up and they're like, hi, Michael, I'm Jill, I'm John. What do you do for a living? And I'm just standing there and I'm like, I sell money at a discount. And they're like, you do what? And I would say, I sell money at a discount. And they're like, what does that mean? So I've got them, I've hooked them already. I've got them by the throat. I said in the insurance business, I said, okay, well, if you give me $1, I return $2, $5, $10, depends on the situation. And they're like, what do you mean? And I said, well, in the insurance business, I don't sell insurance, I help people buy it. I'm a broker. I don't sell insurance, I help people buy it. So if you called me up with your home and car insurance and you said, Michael, I would like a better value on my insurance, I would shop it all around the different markets for you, and I would help you buy the best value you could find. I don't sell insurance. I'm not a company. I'm a broker. So I help you buy insurance, the best value, not just the best price, the best value. So that's my business USP too. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. So in a lot of cases, I'm going to save you a couple $100. I'm going to save you $500. I'm going to get that lawsuit paid in full. If there's a slip and fall at your store, I'm going to make sure that $3 million lawsuit is actually handled. If somebody gets injured driving your jet ski, we're going to make sure that you're protected. And they're just standing there stunned. I'm like, I sell money at a discount. Whatever you give me, I multiply it and give it back. So if you give me $1, I give it back. I sell money at a discount. So literally stopping people dead at a barbecue. I also, when I get in the coaching business, the consulting business 10 years ago, I started answering a couple of different ways, and this really threw Goofy for a turn. Is Goofy would come up to me, and Goofy's three drinks deep by now, and he's got up his courage to talk to me, and he's like, hey, Michael, I'm Terry, or whoever, and he says, like, what do you do for a living? I hear you're in the consulting business. They don't know what the fuck that means. And I'm like, not really. I said, I'm in the millionaire maker business. And they're like, you're what? I said, I'm a millionaire maker. What do you do for a living, Michael? I'm a millionaire maker. And they're like, you're a millionaire maker? Everyone loves a millionaire, right? How the hell are you a millionaire maker? I said, well, the guys that I work with, most of them, not all of them, they come to me and they're making 5 figures, 6 figures. And if they stick with me for a few years, I make them rich slowly. In other words, I create millionaires. If you come to me and you do as I say and you follow my marketing and money-making principles, I make you a millionaire. You got to do the work, but I make you a millionaire. I said, I've made thousands of millionaires. Whoa, are you serious? I'm like, I'm serious as cancer. I'm the millionaire maker. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that Michael McLean is the millionaire maker. So Goofy's brain is exploding, right? Like he's literally put down his dumb phone by now. I've got him right by the throat. I got him right by the throat. Millionaire. How could you do that? So that's my USP, my personal one. Then I also use, and I still use it today at social events when a person walks up, Michael, what do you do for a living? And I'll pull out the old, well, I sell money at a discount. I sell money at a discount. And I just take that one deep, right? I'm like, well, as an example, if your husband bought my book and he bought my newsletter, I said, I will multiply whatever money he gives me if he takes action and reads the content. I'll 10x his life. I'll 5x his life. I'll 25x his life. And she's like, what? I'm like, if you buy my book, whatever money you give me, if you give me $1 and you take action on my teachings, my prescriptions, I'm going to give you $5 back. If you give me $100, I'm going to give you $1,000 back. If you give me $30,000 as a champion in my mastermind, I'm going to give you $500,000 back. If you give me $10,000 as a world builder in my mastermind, I'm going to give you $250,000 back. That's how valuable it is. I'm the millionaire maker. And I sell money at a discount. If a guy gives me $1, my goal is to give him 2 back, 3 back, 5 back, 10 back. Well, once again, I mean, just tomato can blowing mind. And really, that's how I sell books. That's how I sell newsletters. That's how I sell masterminds. It's not hard. If you give me $1, I'm going to give you 2 back. I'm going to give you 3 back. I'm going to give you 5 back. And the guys that spend the most money with me, the Bill Gaws, the David Lintons, the Stephen Ivankos, the Paul Noltes, they're the guys who are the richest and the wealthiest. It's no surprise. They're also the most successful. They have the best marriages. They have the best relationships with their children. They're in the best physical health. They're guys in their 50s and 60s that are just kicking ass and taking names. So, it's because they're investors. They're not takers. They're like, how can I spend more money with Michael? Because if I can spend more money, I'm going to get it back 2x, 5x, 25x. So they're never thinking, how much does this cost? Or I can't afford this. Bill Gaws never had that in his mind ever. David Linton's never had that in his mind ever. He's like, where do I sign up? The more money I invest with Michael, the more money I'm going to make, the better life I'm going to have, the more freedom, the more independence, the more personal sovereignty. So it's interesting. I use those when I'm out in the general public with the civilians and the outsiders, and I have a little bit of fun. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm at these events. I'm like, I'm talking to a few people, and I want to flush out the 1%er, right? If there's 100 people at an event, there's only one person there that's not mentally lost. There's only one person that's not mentally lost. So if you're in a crowd of 100 people, you got to find that one person. You got to find that 1%er. And now in 2023, you might have a hell of a time finding that 1%er. I'm just being clear as kind. I think we're into a situation where now it's 0.5%er. So you need to find this person and you need to spend time with them. And that's how I do it, with comments like, well, I'm the millionaire maker. I sell money at a discount. I remember in the insurance business, I used to talk about how I would say the guy be like the big commercial guys with the big egos, the business owners. And I closed my biggest policy ever with this line, this USP. And I said to the guy, he said, Michael, why would I switch to you, my business insurance? You're the same price as you're like everybody else. And I said, I'm not like everybody else, Keith. I said, if there's ever a problem with a claim, if there's ever a problem with a liability suit, if there's ever a problem with your business insurance, I said, I'll make the company sorry that they ever heard your name. And he sat in the chair, he leaned forward, and he signed the application. It's a $100,000 policy. Michael, you're just like everybody else. What's the difference? Same price, same everything. I said, no, I'm not the same. I said, Keith, if there's ever a problem with a claim, if there's ever a problem with a lawsuit, if there's ever a problem with service, if there's ever a problem with your insurance company, I'll make them sorry they ever heard your name. I was a broker. I didn't represent companies. I'm like a sports agent. I would represent the client. And I used to tell them over and over again, I don't sell insurance, Keith. I help you buy it. I don't sell insurance, Brenda. I help you buy it. And by educating them with these simple USPs, I was able to differentiate myself from the crowd. Michael's different. He helps me buy insurance. He's a broker. He's not one of these stuffed shirt $1 trillion companies. He's a broker. He helps me buy insurance. There was, that's a great line. I'll make them sorry they ever heard your name. Man, you get a capitalist, you get an entrepreneur, female, male, whoever it is, somebody with brass balls, mental balls, they'll love that. So that's part of standing out of the crowd. That's part of cutting through the clutter and making yourself interesting. I'm a millionaire maker. I sell money at a discount, that kind of stuff. And that is marketing 101. Like, what makes your email different? What makes your flyer different? What makes your video different? What makes your post different? What makes your newsletter different? Or are you just like everybody else? So in my main newsletter, my Michael McLean letter.coach, I'm going to be writing about the 13 principles that my daughter Emery is using to market her lemonade stand. She's doing a lemonade stand here for charity in Naples. And I put 13 principles together that she's used over the last week to promote and execute and make the most money. So these principles are like, can transform any business, any size of business. And I'm going to be writing about these 13 principles in the May Michael McLean letter. To subscribe, and you get one of these free t-shirts. I'll send you one of these badass t-shirts as a free gift. You can subscribe at michaelmcleanletter.com. The link is below. And it's also in the email, michaelmcleanletter.com. And that way you'll get the May edition in your mailbox. I'll ship it to your house or your business with the t-shirt. And you'll get the 13 principles you'll never learn at Harvard Business School. You'll get the 13 lemonade stand principles you'll never learn at Harvard Business School. And these 13 principles are going to help you scale your business from 5 to 6 to 7. They're going to help you smash your personal goals. And most importantly, they're going to help you become a force for good in this world. Those are the 3 things the May edition is going to do for you. It's going to help you scale your business from 5 to 6, maybe from 6 to 7. And it's going to help you smash your personal goals for the rest of the year. And finally, it's going to help you become a force for good in today's world. Service first, kindness first, compassion first. So to join my tribe, go to michaelmcleanletter.coach. michaelmcleanletter.coach. Immigration is open to my tribe for the next 4 days. After that, I'll be closing the doors for another month. If you miss out, you'll miss out on this May edition of the Michael McLean letter. It's only $97 a month. It's a physical paper and ink newsletter. That's $3.24 a day. That's coffee. Not even good coffee. That's coffee. $3.24 a day to get my Michael McLean newsletter sent to your home or business with a t-shirt. michaelmcleanletter.coach. michaelmcleanletter.coach. That's it for today. Make sure you're the life of the party. Make sure you're the life of the cookout. Make sure you're the life of the family reunion. And make sure you're not talking like everybody else. Everybody else is just walking around politically correct word salad. I just call it tomato can word salad. Talking about nothing, just cliches, not thinking, not talking about anything important, just talking. You hear it with athletes, politicians, bureaucrats, business leaders, just talking, word salads that say nothing. Do the opposite. When people ask you what you do for a living, tell them that you're the millionaire maker, or tell them that you sell money at a discount, or tell them that, just stop them dead in their tracks with a great USP, and then do the same for your company. Hot, fresh pizza delivered in 30 minutes to your door, or it's free. That built the billion-dollar Domino's brand. Never did they mention quality pizza. Never did they mention good pizza. Hot, fresh pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes, or it's free. All right, that's it. michaelmcleanletter.coach. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.